So hello friends, welcome back to ROMcard. So finally my semester exams are ended and today I am back with a new custom ROM review. So today I am going to review the AfterLife ROM for Realme RM6785 devices, which includes Realme 6, 6i, Realme 7, Narzo 20 Pro and Narzo 30 4G. And this build is made by ViLTE. So thank you ViLTE for making this new ROM for Realme 6785 devices. So if you take a closer look, this is the AfterLife ROM unofficial build for RM6785 devices. The Android version is 13 and it's basically 13.3 LTS. I will show that later. And the kernel used in this ROM is the 3.14.329 Lineage Plus kernel, and this doesn't come with KSU, and you get two builds, vanilla and GApps. So currently I have installed the GApps variant and you can check the screenshots from here. Okay, getting back to the review. So the first thing you will notice is the quick setting panel. The quick setting panel is a lot different from any stock Android build, or you can say from any custom ROM. The quick setting panel differs a lot if you compare this with any other custom ROM. So talking about the details, you get the internet, the Bluetooth, and here's the user image where I did not put anything, then the settings directly from here. And one thing you will notice is the lag. So you get all new experience, but you have to face some lags. I will show everything one by one in this video. So in the right square you will get the settings, the edit icon, the running processes, and this is the AfterLabs customization center. And you get the quick setting panels and you get the data usage. If you click on it, nothing happens, it only shows the data usage. And you get the QS tile right here. If you can slide also, and for editing this tile you have to click here and edit the tiles, and you get somewhere around this amount of tiles, the font size, refresh rate, switch data, sound amplifier, etc. So let's try adding the refresh rate switcher. So the refresh rate was on auto, now it's set to 60 Hz. If you look closely you will see the half cut 60 Hz icon, and all the other details are half cut, like you can see on, start, off. These text are half cut, and if I click on it again it will set to 90 Hz. Although even after setting to 90 Hz you will face lags while pulling down the quick setting panel. Talking about the recents panel, the recents panel looks like this. You only get the clear all button and screenshot button, so you don't get a lot of customization but some amount of customizations. So in the settings UI it looks quite different from other ROMs. You get the about phone, the AfterLabs, which is the customization center, and in the top you get the user details. Now in the bottom you get the system, and in all the settings you get some kind of animations. Then in the security you get face and fingerprint and the app lock, which works like this. You can add any apps in the protected app list. And I hope you already noticed there is Android P animation style that you can turn off actually. Then we get the digital valving, the security accessibility. And talking about the battery backup, I am using this ROM for around 12 hours and I only charged it once, so the battery backup is not bad actually. You can see the screen on time is 3 hours 18 minutes after installing this ROM, and I did not even charge it to 100%. You can see it was only around 85 to 90. So the battery backup is good. Now in the battery section we also get an animation, as you can see here. Then we have the battery saver, the adaptive battery, and battery charge warning. So what is battery charge warning? If you turn it on, you can set a certain percentage where it will ring a warning so that you can unplug the charger when it's 89% charged or some percentage that you set. So that will keep your battery safe and it's good for your battery health. Although there is nothing to do with my battery health, it's around 75% on my device, so I will keep it off. Now in display we get the extra dim, adaptive brightness, lock screen, dark theme, and in dark theme we get the pitch black, but not here. We get that in the customization center. And the dark theme UI looks similar to the stock Realme UI. You can see how it looks in the dark mode, but when you click on it, it will take some time to apply. You can see it's finally applying. So you have to click on turn on until sunrise. That will turn on the dark mode and it will do a system UI restart, but you cannot directly click on the light mode to turn the light mode on. You have to click here. Then we get the smooth display, flip to wake, tap to wake, allow window level blurs. So I will recommend you to keep this off because it takes a lot of resources. Then we have the full screen apps. Now in sound and vibration you get again an animation. Then we have the phone ringtone, then now playing, etc. In vibration and haptics, you can set a custom vibration feedback, and there is no weak vibration issue in this ROM, so don't worry about that. Now in the ringtones, you get a little amount of ringtones, but the ringtones that are saved here are really good. You will be pleased to set any of these ringtones. Like you can see, it's good, right? Then in the notification sound, here it goes the same case. We get only a few options, but all are good. There is no junk, and you can also turn on the touch sounds. Then we get the power app volume control. We get the apps. Here we can go to the default apps, and talking about the phone app, you get this app where you get the Google dialer. Then for default caller ID and spam app, you can set to phone. It will be set on none by default. Then we get the game space where you can add the games you have, and we get a plenty of options like stay awake, lock gestures, disable heads up notification, disable brightness, disable auto brightness, disable USB debugging, etc. So I think the disable USB debugging is an important option when you have the new state installed, because the USB debugging is a big enemy for this game, I think. So that's it. Then you get the unused apps and special app access. Then in the connectivity, you get again an animation, the internet, the call and SMS, SIMs, the hotspot and tethering, and in the all options you get a kind of animation which makes this OS very laggy, I think, but it looks cool, you know. And private DNS, you don't get preset DNS. Now finally, let's get to the AfterLabs. In AfterLabs, we get the status bar. In status bar, we can enable the AfterLife logo, which looks like this. Then we get the status bar battery customization, the status bar icons, the clock AM PM style, use network traffic indicator, and yes, the traffic indicator is working fine, but you have to turn on the hide option, otherwise it will hide randomly even if the internet is working. Then you get the status bar 4G icon, display 5G indicator, so it basically changes the 4G icon to 5G. Here you can see it shows 5G right here, so it's good for only show off purpose. It's not an useful option. Then you get the old mobile style icon, the combined signal icons, the roaming indicator, and mic and camera privacy indicator, so you can turn them off by yourself. Then you get the location privacy indicator. Now in quick settings, you get the colored quick QS notification icons, the footer profile picture, QS footer username, QS style shape, QS dual tone, background transparency, brightness slider, position for brightness slider, the auto brightness icon that you can see here, the animation style for the QS styles, which works like this. And you can see whenever I pull down the quick setting panel, it always lags. So this is quite disappointing if you are using this ROM. Now in battery, you get the battery percentage when charging, battery style, battery percentage, and in battery percentage you get a lot of options. In the lock screen, you get the screen off animation, so I have set it to CRT, which looks like this. Then we get the ripple effect, which I have turned off, but if you turn it on, it will show a laggy ripple effect because this is lag OS, so I keep it turned off. Then in the system, we get notification control, and in notification we will get a key lap button. Then we get the make heads up less annoying option. Then here also we have the colored notification icons, and we get clear all notification button, the edge lighting, which is not useful for LCD displays. Now in buttons, we get click to partial screenshot and volume wake. Now if I turn on the click to partial screenshot, you can set the amount of area that want in your screenshot. Then in the gestures, we get the system settings. In the gesture navigation, in the system navigation, we get the gesture navigation, and here we get immersive navigation. So when it is turned off, you get a blank space under the keyboard. You can turn it off. To turn it off, you have to turn on immersive navigation, but that will hide the gesture field. And when the immersive navigation is turned on, sometimes the home gesture does not work, and if you turn on custom pill handle, you can customize the pill radius, pill position, and the length. Then we get the swipe to screenshot, touch screen gestures, playback control, one-handed mode, and quickly open camera. Now in power menu, we get the advanced reboot options, which is an essential option. Now in general, we get miscellaneous, and in miscellaneous we get the most of it. We get the unlimited Google photo storage, the unlock higher FPS option in games, allows signature spoofing, Android P animation style. So this is what I was talking about, the Android P animation style. So when you go to back, you can notice the Android P animation style, and if I turn it off, then you will not see that animation, although I like it, so I will keep it on. Now in the system, you get the AfterLabs style, AfterLabs username, the Monet engine, the body font, the clock font style in lock screen. I have set it to this one, which looks pretty cool. Then we have the clock font style, the icon pack, the signal icon style, the Wi-Fi icon style, and the icon shape. And both in the signal icon style and Wi-Fi icon style, we get the ColorOS. Although it is not 100% like ColorOS, but still there is some similarities. And in category preference style, we get some customizations that I don't know about. If you know, please let me know in the comment section. So this is all about the settings. Now talking about the performance that you get in this ROM, this is the performance that you get in this ROM. We get 84% maximum of the CPU throttling, and the graph is like this. And one thing I forgot to mention is, even if you are watching reels, it lags a lot. You can see here is a little bit lag in the advertisement. Then in this video also you can see there is some lags. You can see in this video also we are getting some lags, in this one also, and not in this one. So how to flash AfterLife custom ROM on Realme 6785 devices. So first of all, take backup of all your data, and if you are in any Android 13 or Android 14 ROM, you have to use the TWRP. You can use 3.6 and 3.7, which supports the decryption, but currently I am on Lineage OS 21, so I have the Lineage recovery installed. So first of all, I need to install the TWRP recovery. So at first, let me show you how the Lineage recovery looks. So this is how it looks, the Lineage OS recovery or Lineage recovery. So here we get apply update option, then factory reset, then the advanced. So these are the options. We don't get any option to change file system. So first of all, let me flash the TWRP 3.7, then I will proceed to the further steps. So I have just flashed the TWRP 3.7, and you can see in the install the internal storage is encrypted because it's Android 14 and Lineage OS where the Lineage recovery was used. So first of all, you have to use the microSD card. I mean, keep the file in the microSD card if you are in Lineage OS or any other ROM that is encrypted. So here you can see I have the custom ROM in my SD card. So the first thing I need to do is wipe the data and cache, format the data and cache. So first of all, I need to change the data and cache to ext4. So I will check the data, it is already on ext4, so I don't need to change it, and the cache is also on ext4. So we are ready to flash the ROM. So I will just click the ROM and swipe to flash, and you can see the ROM has been started flashing, and the AfterLife logo is not that clear, but still let's see how the ROM performs. So this is basically a new ROM for our Realme RM6785 devices, which includes Realme 6, Realme 6i, G90, Realme 7, Narzo 20 Pro and Narzo 30 4G. And the ROM file is such a big file of 1.9 GB. That's why it's taking much time to be flashed. So let's wait for it. There's nothing we can do about it. So the ROM has been flashed successfully. Now what to do? Go to home, wipe, advanced wipe, change the data to F2FS. And guys, I have a problem on my device. It's basically a hardware problem. So there's touch issue in my phone. That's why I can't swipe. So I have to turn it off and on again. So the data is successfully changed to F2FS. Now I have to change the cache. So the data and cache both are changed to F2FS, as you can see. So now I have to reboot to system. Okay, so this is the boot animation that we get in this ROM. Let me show you closely. So yeah, it looks pretty cool, and in first boot it will take some time, so I will wait for it. And this is how you can install the AfterLife 4.0 on your Realme RM6785 device. And without further delay, let's get to a quick gaming test. So guys, you can see the frame rate right here, and the gameplay is not smooth at all. If you want to play BGMI, then you have to use the script. Without script, you can see it's not even giving 15 FPS. it's always less than 20. Although if I show you the settings, it's set to 90 fps, so yes, you get the option to unlock higher fps, but it's not useful because the performance is like this. And this is not a screen record, if you want to know. This is just screen mirroring. And if I change the performance mode to performance from the gaming panel, I can see a little bit improvement. So let's see how it performs. So yes, the frame rate is increased from 15 fps to 20 fps. And you can see the game space panel has been closed, so I just opened the game dashboard, which brings another fps meter. I mean, it's different, and you can see it came again. So the performance is very bad, it's not playable at all. I will close the match right now. So guys, this is the performance that we get in Afterlife 4.0. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.